I always thought my life was too ordinary for grand moments, until the night my best friend, Marcus, dared me to do something wildly out of character. "Bro, just ask her out," he said, pushing me toward my apartment door like we were sneaking into a concert. "You've admired her for months. Worst case? She says no. Best case? Wedding invitations." I laughed it off, but my heart was pounding. My neighbor, Claire, lived 2 doors down, quiet, kind, and the kind of beautiful that wasn't loud about itself. The kind that made you feel calm just being near her. And Marcus was right. I'd been finding excuses to bump into her, checking my mailbox twice a day, watering plants I didn't even like, just hoping for a hello. So, fueled by a dare and questionable confidence, I walked to her door and knocked. The door swung open, and there she was, holding a laundry basket and wearing a smile that could warm an entire hallway. "Yes?" she asked. My voice cracked like a teenager's. Hey. So, random question, would you like to go out sometime?" She raised an eyebrow, not mocking, just curious. And then she said the strangest thing. "I hope you have a good story to tell." Then she stepped aside. "Come in." The twist I didn't expect. Her apartment was cozy, warm-toned, and smelled faintly of vanilla. Not at all the setting where I expected to be judged about my dating motives. She placed her laundry basket down, folded her arms, and nodded toward the couch. "So," she said, "tell me." My confusion must have been obvious. "Tell you, what?" "That story," she said gently. "The one you're supposed to have." I blinked. "Wait, you were serious?" She nodded. "If a guy is going to knock on my door, looking like he rehearsed that sentence 20 times, he better have a reason deeper than boredom." And just like that, the dare felt childish. But something in her tone, calm, patient, hopeful, made me decide to be honest. I told her everything. How Marcus dared me. How I'd been too shy to talk to her. How I admired the way she helped our elderly neighbor carry groceries every week. How she left snacks outside for the delivery drivers. How she always seemed to brighten the hallway without even trying. I expected her to laugh or roll her eyes. Instead, she smiled softly. And her expression shifted, like she was suddenly seeing me differently. "You notice things," she said. "Most people don't." A moment of realization. We ended up talking for nearly an hour. She told me she'd moved in only 6 months ago. She'd been feeling lonely, overwhelmed with work, and missing her family who lived across the country. "I always hoped someone here would try to get to know me," she admitted. "But people just nod in elevators and disappear." Her voice cracked a little, and that surprised me more than anything. Claire wasn't unreachable or perfect, she was human, lonely, and trying her best. And suddenly, this wasn't about a dare anymore. It was about connection. "Can I be honest?" she said after a moment. "Sure. When you knocked on my door, I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk. But then I saw how nervous you were, and I figured anyone that nervous couldn't possibly be dangerous." I laughed. "Great. My legacy, harmless-looking guy." She nudged my shoulder. Harmless is underrated. The emotional climax. Just when the night felt like it couldn't get more unexpectedly sincere, there was a knock at her door. Claire froze. "That's strange." She opened it to reveal her grocery delivery, bags piled up, driver panting like he'd run a marathon. "Sorry," he said. "Elevators down again." Without thinking, I stepped forward. "I'll carry them." His relief was instant. "Thanks, man." I made 3 trips, hauling heavy bags up 3 flights of stairs. Each time, Claire looked at me like she was seeing something she didn't expect. When I finally returned inside, catching my breath, she handed me a cup of water and said something I'll never forget. "Most guys tell good stories. You actually live one. Her eyes were soft. Emotional. Grateful. And in that moment, something shifted between us, something real. Not because I asked her out. Not because of a dare. But because two lonely people finally saw each other. The uplifting ending. As I stood to leave, she walked me to the door. So, she asked playfully, was asking me out still a dare? I shook my head. No. Definitely not anymore. She bit her lip, smiled, and looked up at me. Good. Because I'd like to say yes. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. But, she added, no pressure. Let's start with coffee tomorrow morning. You bring the story. I'll bring the muffins. I grinned. Deal. And as she closed the door behind me, I realized something. Sometimes the bravest things we do don't come from confidence, they come from kindness. And sometimes the best stories begin with a dare, but end with genuine connection. In a world full of quick swipes and empty conversations, finding someone who listens, really listens, is its own kind of miracle. And for once, I was grateful for my friend's ridiculous challenge. Because it led me to someone who didn't just want a story. She wanted the truth behind it. And that made all the difference.